witch, and I took DMT with Easter bunnies. Now that's an example of being crazy.
HBO.
I mean, art. And I'm not saying what I do politically is art, but everything is an art form. Oh yeah, one more. 1776. More? Fan it up. Fucking eyes.
This is the Jones we all need. This is the Alex Jones we all need. Oh my god, they had my boy on against that filthy dog, Douglas Murray. What the fuck?
If you're struggling with fat loss, high blood sugar, or high blood pressure, the Rice method might
Piers
be the
Douglas Murray versus
game changer you need.
pro-Palestinians.
Well, joining me now from Tel Aviv is Douglas Murray, the Associate Editor of The Spectator.
Filthy
co-founder of
motherfucker.
the Muslim Debate Initiative.
Filthy dog.
Abdullah Andalusi, and Dr. Izzeldin Abulaish, the Canadian-Palestinian medical doctor, who's joined me again in the studio. And great to see you. Thank
Abulaish, oh shit.
you for joining me. Let me start with you, if I may, Dr. Abulaish.
Here we go.
When you saw
2v2.
that interview, what was your response to the fact that it's an NHS doctor working and living in this country who was saying those things?
It's important I am coming, you know. I heard it. I heard many of your interviews.
This will be a good one.
Jihad.
I know Abdullah Andalusi.
My presence here is jihad. When I'm coming to meet with you to advocate for my Palestinian people and for saving lives of the people is jihad. And this is the highest level of jihad. The resistance against someone who is invading you, this is the lowest level of jihad. But jihad, when I'm traveling, when I am going to any place, even someone who is dying because of far away from his home is a kind of jihad. When we are fasting, when we are walking, walk is a jihad. And that's the most important. We need to understand it, not to take it out of the context in the limited understanding of it. When I am invaded with a disease, COVID, what do? I have to resist the COVID. And that's when we face cancer disease, any cancer.
With respect, you would not categorize October the 7th as a resistance.
It's, you know, I condemn the killing of any innocent human being. And for me, I was born, my daughters were killed before October 7th.
Yes, I know.
I was born as a Palestinian refugee before October 7th. My parents were refugees before 48. They were born in Palestine. So the history didn't start. The world is not created October 7th. That's what we need. And
These fucking white ham sandwiches love to start on October 7th.
Let me continue. Let me continue, please.
Right.
Today is the 12th of December. Today is the 12th of December where we have more than 23 Palestinians are killed. More than 45,000 are severely wounded. Even the damage in the Gaza Strip, as Borrell, the representative of Foreign Affairs in the European Union, it's far beyond the damage in Germany for 6 years. In 2 months, more than that. So even, you know, how
that's
many...
not true, actually.
Why?
No.
Oh, fuck off, Piers, man. Go die. Go die in a ditch somewhere. Seriously, Piers just needs to go die in a ditch. Die in a ditch somewhere. He's giving him facts right now. Piers needs to go die in a ditch. I'm tired of seeing this fucking disgusting, satanic fucking stale ham sandwich. Glass-jawed motherfucker.
Yeah, but far more people died in World War II than have died.
No,
in
the damage. The
structural damage.
The destruction.
Well, there certainly would have been more damage in Germany in World War II.
He mentioned that himself.
Well, that's,
yeah, because I want to see my people. I'm here to support my people, not this motherfucker.
Accurate. But here's my question, though, for you. It all comes back to me.
Now he's salty. Now that Alex Jones is back on Twitter, took all his thunder. Alex Jones telling people that Hamas didn't behead babies. Everyone listening.
On this show, right to the point where they try and convince me that what happened on October the 7th was not an act of terror. And when people refuse to concede that point, I find it very hard then to have a civilized discussion. It's why I got so annoyed last night.
Well, can we... So if I
interject, killing of my daughters as terrorists?
Well, I think it was appalling.
I can't wait for Andalusi to speak. I've been watching Andalusi for years now.
Israel to be a terrorist organization.
I'll step up.
I think here's a question we have to ask ourselves, which is, since you have defended Israel's operation in Gaza as self-defense.
Don't misquote me.
Here we go.
So you don't say it's part of their self-defense?
No, let me clarify.
Okay.
I've defended Israel's right to defend itself, right?
Right.
In fact, they have a duty to its civilians after Hamas's repeated threats since October the 7th to repeat it, to defend the civilians.
So is the war in Gaza?
My boy Andalusi.
Let me just clarify my position so you know.
My nigga Andalusi.
However, I have repeatedly questioned the proportionality of Israel's response, as indeed their greatest allies,
but not the response itself.
are now doing.
But not the response itself, though.
I think they're perfectly entitled to go and take out Hamas.
Okay, so may I continue my question then?
Yes.
Ask you. So since, as I repeat, since you have justified their response, maybe not how they've carried it out exactly, but you justify their response as self-defense.
Their right to defend themselves.
Okay, shut up, Piers. Let him talk.
Yes.
Okay. And presumably you refuse to call Israel, and you have refused when you've been asked to call Israel a terrorist organization, government, or the IDF a terrorist organization.
Well, the difference is here. Oh, hang on. In London.
No, let him
finish. He hasn't even fucking finished.
Let me finish my question.
Filthy white.
Misleading.
Sure.
This country
Filthy white.
considers Hamas to be a prescribed terror group. They do not consider Israel to be a terrorist organisation, and nor do I. So that's the position.
But
I'm not asking
you. The United States consider PLO. It's important.
I'm not asking the British government. I'm asking you, Piers.
I don't think
the British government isn't here.
I do not think they're a terrorist organisation.
Now let me finish my question, if I can ask the question as well, right, for us to discuss. So considering that you have justified the operation that Israel initiated as self-defense, and that you refuse to call Israel a terrorist organization or a terrorist government, despite the fact that almost as many Palestinians, Gazans have died under Israel's precision bombing than as Londoners have died during the whole year of the Blitz under German bombing, which wasn't precision bombing, and yet you still say that, well, Israel isn't a terrorist organization. I think the question we should be asking is, should you be suspended? Is it responsible to have a person with your views speaking to the public when you clearly refuse to condemn that which needs to be condemned, which was worse than the London Blitz? Those that
perfectly reasonable.
With precision weapons, and the Germans didn't even have precision weapons.
Perfectly reasonable question.
Yes.
And you've asked me it on my show.
The Blitz. Blitzed.
I think is evidence that I'm prepared to listen to people who will look me in the eye and ask me difficult questions.
Well, you didn't know I was going to say that, but anyway, yes.
That's fine, but that's fine. You're perfectly entitled to it.
Yeah.
We believe in uncensored free speech here.
Yeah.
But let me ask you the question then, which I asked.
You're not answering my question, but you haven't answered it.
Well, I have. I said I don't think they're a terrorist organisation.
Despite the fact that they've killed almost as many as Germans
did when
they bombed London under the Blitz for 1 year with non-precision bombs.
I have given you an unequivocal answer. Now let me ask you if you can give me one.
Yes.
Do you believe Hamas are a terrorist?
Piers is a terrorist sympathiser.
Okay, I'd like to ask you,
if Andalusi is a terrorist sympathiser or not condemning Hamas, then is Piers a terrorist sympathiser?
Because prescribed as a terror group. Do you think they are?
Are you the British government?
No, I'm asking you what you think.
Okay, so I want a clarification.
I gave you a simple, straight answer.
What does it mean?
No, you tell me.
I don't know. You're asking me a question. You asked
the question. You don't think they are a terror group?
No, I want your definition of what is a terror group?
An act that commits acts of terror, a group that commits terrorist acts, as they did on October the 7th.
So one that commits terror attack, all right, fine. So define terror.
Do you want to answer the question or not?
I do, but I just want clarification.
No, we all know what terrorism is.
Please, no, we're going to go somewhere with this. We're going to go somewhere with this, right?
Well, are you going to answer the question?
Yes, once I get your definition. What's a terror attack?
The definition is, as is laid down in international law, committing an act of terror.
Which is?
Which is terrorism.
Are you asking questions you don't know the definition of?
Well, why don't you tell me what you think it is?
I don't know. You're asking the question.
You've no idea what terrorism is.
No, I want you to answer your question.
I would say massacring 1,200 people on October the 7th in the way Hamas did is an act of terror. Do you agree?
So killing civilians is an act of terror?
No, that's not what I said.
So then
committing a massacre on that scale is terrorism.
So killing civilians is not an act of terror?
You're not going to answer. Let me bring
I want your definition.
No.
I want you to be consistent.
We have a third guest.
Piers doesn't have anything but his script. This is what Alex Jones was saying back in 2010. Piers has nothing but his script. If you ask him off the dome, he has no fucking clue.
I want to say something.
All right.
United States recognize PLO as a terrorist and it negotiates with PLO. This is one thing. The second, October 7 happened and many things happened after. Are we here just stuck there as a snapshot and to discuss it, or we want to discuss what after and what can be done
We do,
in a
but
positive
actually,
way? That's the most important.
I think they're all important issues, but right now, because of what
Douglas
happened and the fallout from last
Where that nigga
night's show,
Douglas at?
I specifically want to discuss the definition
That filthy
of
fuck Douglas at?
terrorism, Hamas, and whether a British
But
doctor...
Hamas is
you
not the
haven't finished
Palestinian
it.
people.
Hang on.
But we haven't
hang on.
exact definition
I'm
yet.
going to bring in our
I want a
third...
definition.
I'm going to bring in Douglas Murray. You're just sitting patiently here.
Filthy
Douglas,
dog Douglas.
First of all, what was your reaction?
Douglas and
to the
this
things
other
you
guy
were
know
doing
each
with
other.
the NHS doctor
They've
last
debated
night?
each other for fucking years here in the UK.
Lately, one way I've been able to
Filthy
keep my
dog.
mental health a priority has been through therapy.
Fucking hate this psycho.
After graduating college and now
Well, let me first of all say that it's necessary to clear quite a lot of things up.
This guy is a psycho.
Hogwash in the last few minutes. Firstly, your guest last night is a member of an extremist organization, Hizb ut-Tahrir, which is banned in many countries, including in European countries. And it's also banned in many Muslim countries. It's banned in Pakistan, it's banned in Egypt, and that's because these Muslim governments recognize that it is an extremist group that has a revolutionary ideology that wants to replace
Name one
government
European country it's banned
in
in.
Muslim
Give me
countries
one European country
as
it's
well
banned
as in... do you know Germany?
One European country is banned in Douglas Murray. I'm not going to let you lie to the audience like you usually do. You're going to justify everything you say on this show, Douglas Murray. Right, so please, give me one.
I used to watch these guys literally tear each other to shreds on Sunday morning TV. Every Sunday, these two would fucking just tear each other apart.
It's not banned in Germany.
I just said
it's not banned in Germany.
You're not listening. You're not listening.
Douglas Murray is a filthy dog that needs to go die painfully in a ditch. Legit. Even more than Benjamin Netanyahu, anyone. I fucking hate this guy. All my life, I fucking hated this psychopath. This snake that's allowed to fucking come on TV.
Google it for yourself.
You know,
Hizb ut-Tahrir in Germany,
really
are they banned as an
weird.
organisation?
Is this Mr. Andalusi? Can I just check? 'Cause I
Yes,
can't see you.
it is, yeah.
Is that him?
Yeah.
Okay. This is a guy, he's of no significance, but he's a guy who I have seen in studios for years, spouting extreme Islamist rhetoric. Many years ago, he couldn't condemn the killing of the journalists at Charlie Hebdo. Last year, he wouldn't condemn the attempted murder of Salman Rushdie. Now he can't do
slander?
this. He
If this
fails
is-
every single
Murray is
test.
filled full
But
of
let me get
slander.
on to the question.
Slander
Look,
and lies.
I'm not going
Prove
to
it.
engage. I'm
Prove-
not going to
prove your lies,
engage
Let him
in a
speak,
bun
please.
fight with this Islamist. Let me answer the question that Piers put to me before you try to interrupt again.
Only if you don't lie.
Filthy dog, Douglas
First of
Murray.
all-
Let him
first-
answer, please.
Slap him up.
First of all,
I saw him
I'm
on the
not
street.
going to keep being talked over by this Islamist blowhard. Let me speak. First of all,
A filthy
the first
white
guest
splainer.
treated us to the first
Filthy
bit of
white.
mouthwash this evening by claiming that the word jihad can mean absolutely anything. Nonsense. When a big bearded member of Hizb ut-Tahrir calls for jihad on the streets of London, then they are not calling
Look how
for
psychopathic
interpersonal
this guy
struggle
looks.
with the nature
Right.
of the divine. They are calling for violence. And anyone who can't recognize...
Looks like a
this
Hitler
should be
without the
questioned
mustache.
about their own motives.
He's a Hitler without a mustache. Imagine a mustache on the guy.
We've just been
Look at the way he's speaking and imagine a fucking square mustache on him. Hitler energy. Huge Hitler energy.
to a monologue about casualty figures in Gaza. Where do these figures come from? I'll tell you where they come from. They come from Hamas. It's quite remarkable
This
to
is
me
a lie.
that 2 months after the October the 7th massacre, the Israelis still don't know the precise number of people murdered on October the 7th. There's a reason for that, because
It's
it
from the
takes
United
time
Nations,
to work out
from the
massacres of
UNRWA.
that scale.
The numbers
One of the
are accredited and valid.
striking, you know, I just don't know if either of your guests are going to allow me a word in.
Because you are
One
lying,
of the
and
striking
even the numbers
things
from
about the-
Israel, from the IDF, which are not accredited.
No. You will,
These are your
it's really
numbers.
interesting hearing somebody who presents themselves as a moderate being a spokesperson for Hamas. So let me continue. They are Hamas.
But he's a victim.
They are
He's a
all
fucking
provided
victim.
by the ministries of Hamas, which is a prescribed terrorist organization. If you want to reel off Hamas figures, then be my guest, but you are not able to mislead the viewers of Piers' show by quoting Hamas figures at his viewers as if they are
I
holy
am not
writ.
quoting.
Third,
Honestly, I don't even care.
this
United
nonsense.
Nations.
This may seem like a joke to Kaiser, but I'm telling you from my belief, if I'm lucky enough to go heaven, and I know this fucking dog is going to fucking hell, I will ask God, please let me do the honors of booting this guy into the pits of hell, the deepest pits of hell. Please let me do the honors of nudging this guy, or Leonidas kicking this guy. I'll be like, this guy, I wanna push into the fucking pits, fam, of hell.
We've been treated
the international community organizations.
Where do you think they get the figures from? Where do you think they get the figures from? Thirdly, I will continue to speak if it kills you. Thirdly, World War II. It is nonsense that what has been happening in Gaza has, as you said in this endless list of fallacies, that there has been more bombing in Gaza, more deaths and destruction in Gaza than during World War II. Do you know anything about World War II?
Filthy dog. Dog of a man.
In Dresden alone,
Germany. Do you know anything about World War II?
Dresden alone, take one German city. Take one German city. The destruction was on a scale totally dissimilar to what's been happening in Gaza.
I'm taking London.
This dickhead's spoken for long enough. Let her speak.
I will, once again, I will finish this point, even if both of these blowhards keep trying to talk over me. I will finish the point I wanted to make.
Okay, I'm going to come back to you both. Let me ask Douglas one question. Douglas, specifically about the doctor.
It is very important for your viewers to hear the following definition. The definition of terrorism is the deliberate targeting of innocent civilians. That is what Hamas specializes in. That is what Hamas did on October the 7th. And that's what is happening in Gaza also. Is what Israel is doing terrorism? No, for the following reason. And again, you can lie about this if you want, but do not expect not to be challenged about it. What the IDF is doing is the same manner of war as the British Army, the American Army, and all other armies.
He's a fucking savage, that's life, Kaiser.
Terrorists like
dude, he's gripping it like this.
There are civilian casualties. Yes, there are. But it is not the aim of the IDF any more than it is of the British.
Why does he provide cover for the IDF?
Target civilians.
Gotta wonder.
Anyone who pretends otherwise is lying to the public watching.
Abdullah Andalusi and this guy are both Muslim. We understand what their horses in the race. What's Douglas Murray, not Jew, just a white British dude? What's his fucking angle on Israel?
Two in the studio here. And it's specifically about the doctor that was on last night, whether he should be allowed to continue practicing as a GP.
He's a psycho, guys. He's a psycho. I see through him.
Wouldn't say that it committed an act of terror. Said he didn't even believe that there had been.
When Douglas Murray dies, when Douglas Murray passes away, nobody will cry for this man.
And was also quite blatantly homophobic, amongst other things. Well, he didn't actually. Douglas,
but not Douglas.
Let
me ask Douglas.
No, please.
Let me ask Douglas.
Douglas, the medical association. The medical association.
I will come both to.
The medical association is the one who is assigned to.
Fine. I'm asking Douglas what his view is.
Douglas. He's not a medical doctor.
I'm asking Douglas's opinion. Douglas.
Well, you don't seem to be much of an impartial observer of this, I have to say myself. I thought slightly highly of you before you started ranting as much as Mr. Andalusi this evening.
What a dickhead.
I'll tell you what I thought of it, Piers. I think our country has had enough of people like your guest last night. It's not just that he's in the NHS.
Our country has had enough.
Why do we allow people in Britain to try to overthrow the state who praise terrorism, members of extremist organizations? What has Britain got from this guy exactly? What benefit have we got from him? I mean, I wouldn't want to be an NHS patient going to him. I don't know if any Jews would particularly want to in Britain. I don't know if very many innocent people would want to go to this doctor. But my question is not just...
How does that make sense? Yeah.
I want to know why our country...
The issue is that we get it. He wants to make money. But how do people let him pass for his... this, like what you just mentioned? He should get suspended or something. Well, you can't get suspended for that. But being able to see through his fucking lies.
Touch for decades that we have Hamas leaders, terrorist spokespeople, Islamist sympathizers like your guest, Mr. Andalusi, and now NHS doctors who are members of groups like Hizb ut-Tahrir that stand on the streets of London, call for jihad, call for Muslim armies to arise. I don't think our country benefits anything from these people. I think people like that should leave. We have no need of them.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
For joining me. I appreciate it. Let's come back to you, gentlemen.
Yeah, shut that fucking dog up.
With you, Dr.
Filthy Hitler.
Look, passions run high.
Fascist
on both sides. I get that. But there have to be certain points of agreement, don't there? And one of the things that I find very hard to deal with, like I said at the start of this debate, is when people simply won't accept what we all saw with our own eyes because Hamas put it out on
Nobody's questioning October 7th, man.
social media platforms.
You just won't let them say it.
Was a terror attack. Can we not agree that?
I am coming here as a Palestinian.
Yes.
I am not belonging to any faction, and Hamas is not representing the Palestinian people. We have to understand it. It's part of the Palestinian people. It was elected with the free democratic election in 2006. Since that time, we don't have any election. We look forward to have election, and we have to respect the election of the people and the choice of the people. If you in UK tomorrow to elect any right fanatic group, what do you think the other people will say to you? If they
He's
say
right.
no,
Democratically
they are
elected.
terrorists or they are not accepted, they are part of the Palestinian people. Whether we accept or not, we need to have a new leadership, to have a new election, and then it's our choice to do it. What is happening, as I said it clearly, before October 7, after October 7, will never lead to any positive way. It only aggravates bloodshed, more animosity, more pain, more suffering, and more extremism.
I think you may be right. And this has been my concern about the, in my view, increasingly disproportionate response by Israel, is it may have the opposite effect of what they want. It may actually lead to more radicalism. Destroying most of Gaza seems to be what the mission statement is now. I don't see how that helps the situation at all. But I do understand why they want to try and eliminate Hamas. And that's the conundrum.
Well, I'd like to...
Yeah, well, they haven't done a good job. They've just killed innocent people.
And there's no difference of opinion on this for 1,300 years or even more, that it is impermissible in whatever situation to target women, children, elderly, non-combatants, or those not reservists in an army. So even the Hamas fighters, which were interviewed on Israeli TV, the broadcast was interviewed, their interview, they said the same thing, that it is prohibited. The issue of October the 7th is that there's a big question mark regarding what exactly happened. I completely accept, let me finish, what do I mean by this? I completely accept that there was, Israelis were killed who were not combatants. It is reprehensible in Islamic law. And likewise, it's reprehensible that non-combatants on the Palestinian side are killed, like, for example, an 8-year-old Mohammed al-Ghul and others in West Bank who were shot by an Israeli soldier. But my point is this, right? And here's the issue, which is Michael Clark, who advises, you might see him on Sky News talking about Ukraine war. He's a military advisor on Channel, and also Channel 4. He said that Hamas, the operation, they actually lost control of the operation, and it turned into a spontaneous terror attack. I'm quoting him verbatim.
I don't believe a word of that.
Well, but this is what he says as an expert.
I'm giving you my opinion.
I know. Well, I'm giving you an expert opinion.
It was clearly planned,
by Michael
orchestrated.
Clark. Well,
and then they
that I agree with.
They didn't.
They did.
Where? Where did Hamas? Do you know that quotation?
You see no Hamas people that day gloating about it? Are you watching the videos?
Yes, I did. Did you watch that Hamas spokesman? You quoted that Hamas spokesman on TV.
Yeah.
Did you see what he said about the attack? He said that there was no order to target civilians. What many people...
we know they did.
A general consensus of analysts have shown that there was looters that came out of Gaza who were not part of Hamas.
So my simple question...
It's criminal.
My simple question is this.
Here we go. We're getting more information about what actually happened.
Anyone who killed civilians, should be condemned and
a terror attack.
Reprehensible. Anyone who kills civilians is a criminal
Was it a
act.
terror attack?
What?
October the 7th.
And when I asked you, you said, what defines a terror attack is that you target civilians,
You've had the definition from Douglas.
Yes, okay, you target civilians, right? So then I want to ask, I'll answer that question.
No, just answer
I want to answer that question, but I just for sake
What? He's crying. Piers is actually crying.
Targeted German civilians in World War II. Was that a terror attack?
No, because they were responding to Nazi Germany's attempt to destroy the world.
He's actually crying.
So you're saying that because of who they were fighting, it's not a terror attack to target civilians.
Are you?
Is that what you're saying?
We have to wrap this up. I'm asking.
Piers can't answer.
I'm saying there's no moral equivalence between us defending ourselves against Nazi Germany, who committed a Holocaust that killed. In fact, they killed 12 million people.
Did Britain launch war on Germany because of the Jews?
Huh?
Did Britain declare war on Germany for the sake of Jews?
Britain declared war on
Did
Germany.
Winston Churchill, in his ultimatum to Hitler, did he say, stop persecuting Jews? Do you know why? Because at that time, anti-Semitism was so rife that people didn't care about the plight of the Jews. It was only afterwards, after they discovered the death camps and so on and so forth. Don't pretend that the Allies launched this war for the sake of Jews.
Anti-Semitism. We only discovered the full horror of the concentration camps towards the end of the war.
Yeah, I'm only asking...
We did it to save our democracy and freedom.
And
but the idea is any moral equivalence.
What are the Palestinians doing?
Listen, the idea is any moral equivalence is ridiculous. But let me come back one more time before we finish to my simple question. Was what happened...
Fuck your question, Piers. Fuck your question.
And I'm telling you that if you refuse to call the bombing of Dresden as a terror attack, then why...
I've got to leave it there.
Is that not hypocritical? I'm totally fine to call it a terror attack if you're willing to call it a terror attack too.
Listen,
let's join each other in condemning both things, including the IDF as what they're doing as a terror attack.
I do not believe IDF
Then that's
is a
being
terror
hypocritical.
Attack. No,
that's being hypocritical.
Okay, that's your view.
I'm happy to condemn all this as a terror attack.
Yeah, you're not,
though, you have to be consistent.
Yeah, shut the fuck up, Piers. That's where Piers needs to die painfully. You know, even if you forget him making money, whatever it is, just die painfully, Piers. Your whole family as well.
It's because of the failure of
how they contract COVID, collective COVID.
This is important, and there was negligence. And what can we do now?
They will contract fucking.
The most important as a medical doctor, we need to stop
type 27 COVID.
To go to serious negotiations to use it. What happened October 7 as an opportunity to bridge the gap between Palestinians and Israelis and not to repeat it again and again.
Doctor, I've got to end it there.
Thank you. I don't think you should fire people from their jobs because they have difference of opinion.
Well, you know what?
In England.
I don't think British GPs should be coming on national television in this country and breaking the law by publicly supporting and endorsing a terror group, which is, by the way, it's a criminal offence to support a terror group in this country.
Yeah, of course.
He did that last night.
By what? When did he
by saying they were resistance, not a terror group.
He was talking about.
He justified what they did.
He was talking about Palestinians in general.
Is a criminal.
He was talking about Palestinians in general.
He was talking about Hamas.
He wasn't talking about Hamas.
You didn't watch the interview. Go back and watch it.
Well, leave it for the police to investigate.
He described
the Palestinians.
He broke the
Palestinians
law.
Want equal rights throughout whole of Palestine.
You asked me why. That's why.
I've got to leave it there. I've got to leave it there.
Again, thanks to Douglas Murray.
Dude, he flustered Piers. Who'd have thought that this guy flustered Piers? Because he knows him. I think Abdullah Andalusi knows Piers because he lived Piers was he's British, so he knows all of Piers' bullshit. You go under Piers' skin. I'm happy. Hamash. You go under Piers' skin. When Piers go pink and red, you know someone's got under his skin. Good enough for me. You had one fucking white Hitler dog, Douglas Murray, on, and Piers doing his usual Piers. He's done now. Alex Jones is back. He ain't part of the cool club. He ain't with the Elons. He ain't with the Tates. He's not part of the alt-right Avengers, right? They won't let him into the Avengers compound, right? Piers is done. He's like a salty little school kid who won't be allowed into the cool club. Alex. Yeah, Douglas never smiles. He's a fucking psycho. It is true. He never smiles. He is one of the true psychopaths. Motherfucker, I swear. Andalusi bringing in the pain, fam. Andalusi knows his shit, fam. School him on World War. We never went to fucking war with Germany for the Jews. We did it. It's like I did it for the Rock. You didn't do it for the Rock. We did it for the Jews. We did it. I did it for the Rock. These fucking ham sandwiches. Whites are done. I love it. This is the death throes of the white race. The death rattle of the white race. The whites are on the back heel. They're shouting, complaining, replacement theory. Mexicans Muslims, border. They're done. The white race is fucking done. They worship their abortion. They worship their fucking small families. They worship him. Hitler was fine allying with browns.